filters and stuff. Let's see. Ooh. Not that I necessarily want to do a filter. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm not sure. I have to wait till somebody comes on so I can know if you guys can hear me. In the meantime, let me do. Ooh, that looks a little like tired. This is so cool. I can go live on. I wanted to go in front of the dollhouse because I was playing with the dog. I'm just looking now. I'm just looking to see. Okay, I think I like this one. I like Dawn. Oh, there's more. Oh, you guys want to see dance party? Dance party. Oh, okay, we're not doing dance party. What's 8 millimeters? Oh, I like this for story time. This might be how we do it. Okay, I think this is it. I think I like this. This is it. Do I X that? Oh no, no, I don't. I don't want to cancel my stream. Okay, so I just want to get out of there. Oh, why won't it go away now? I figured it out. I figured it out. Okay, so I'm wondering if I'm gonna be able to save this. I'm wondering if I need to do like a test run. You know what I mean? I'm moving my pool. I'm moving the swimming pool. Okay. Let's see. Oh, oh, oh. Kind of like that. So, you know what? I want to see if I can. Okay. Okay. This is so cool. All right. So, worst case scenario, I do have notes so I can stay on point with what I want to talk about. But worst case scenario, I just have to go ahead and upload the actual video on the subject, which is okay. So, what I wanted to do was talk to everyone and say hi. I know it's been a long time since anyone's seen me on YouTube. I have been living my life. I've been living life after doing. Okay, I think these little dots is throwing me off right now. The dots is throwing me off. Like I feel like it's a bunch of little flies. All of a sudden, I'm like, what is that? What is that? So I'm gonna go back to Dawn. I like Dawn. Yeah, I like Dawn. Those dots was just doing the most, honey. I was like, I can't do this. So yeah, I was. If you've been following me on my channel, then you know that we were doing the good morning, don't be rude, say it back videos. Those were really good for me because I was able to really just ground into what my needs were. I was very much focused on self and showing up for myself and doing what needs to be done for self. I was very much in that space. And I'm grateful that I had the time to deal with me. And I'm grateful for the time that I was able to, like, heal and feel. And I think that having that opportunity, I was able to deal with how sensitive I really am. Um, Things that I don't lead with because I don't want to be taken advantage of or I don't want people to like get the wrong idea about me. But as I've grown and as I got that time away, I'm realizing people are going to think whatever they want to think about you. They're going to think whatever they're committed to thinking about you. They're going to think whatever serves them as far as what they think about you. So if it serves them to think that you're a great person, that's what they're going to speak on. That's what they're going to tell everyone. Oh, she's great. If it serves them to make you a villain, then that's what they speak on. Oh, they're a villain. They're a bad person. People generally communicate about you in a way that serves their storyline and them. And that brings me to like, I cleaned up my YouTube page and I'm back now and I'm trying to figure out like, I got a new page titled A Slice of Life Story Time. And that comes from talking with my friends, talking with different people, and they're telling me your stories have so much, like you have a wealth of information and knowledge. Like you've been through some things, you've healed through some things. I think you should talk about this. I think other people need to know about this. And I would be constantly be told this by people, and I would just be like, I don't know, because my stories include other people. So there was a thing of I don't want to be messy. I don't want to tell people's business. And then there was a thing of like, but it's my business. It's my story to tell. But then it's like I don't want to be shady. I don't want to impact anyone's life in a negative way. That's not who I am. I think it's enough love and enough respect and all these other good vibes and things like that to go around for all of us. So for me, putting out positivity, putting out the world has so much ugliness. The world has so much um, unnecessary ugliness, if you will, unnecessary drama and stuff. And I just didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something that felt good, felt whole, coming from a place of intentional benefit and positive vibes. Like, but I wanted to tell my stories. I feel like when I talk to people younger than myself, I'm 41. I turned 41 in December, and when I talk to younger people, they're like, "How many lifetimes have you lived? You're not that old. You're not old at all, really. You're young, but you've lived so many through so much, experiences. I grew up in a Muslim cult. I am not in contact with my mom right now because I had to put a firm boundary down to have respect and self love. You know, I'm twice divorced, once from someone in the Muslim religious cult, and then once from someone in regular American regular marriage. So I've done a lot of things and had a lot of experiences that would have like broken most people up or just tore their asses up. And while they was tearing me up while we were in it, it ain't tear me up to the point where I was so broken that I could never regain who I am and who I am. Because who I was is not relevant except for to make me better in the now. You get what I'm saying? So let's see, it's 6 minutes and 7 minutes, and I love that number seven, spiritual. And I just wanted to give that quick introduction. So if you're making it past the introduction, now we about to get into why we are here. So I was trying to figure out how am I going to come back onto the YouTube space? What am I going to talk about? How am I going to talk about what I do want to talk about? How am I going to present? And I was just drawing, not blanks, but I was like, I like things to be organic and just fresh and cool. As you can see, I'm in front of a dollhouse. Like this, I thought that I'm here on vacation at my cousin's house, and this dollhouse is in my cousin's room, my baby cousin, and I've been playing with dolls, and I forgot how much fun that is to just let your mind go and do role playing and get the feelings out. And as I was getting the feelings out, I realized like I could talk about this situation that's happened, and I wasn't going to because I don't like to make fun of people in pain, or I don't like to minimize someone hurting. I don't like to minimize people's experiences. I'm not into that. I mean, I could be direct and call you on your BS, but your experience is your experience, and you're allowed to have it, and you're allowed to speak on it. So, with that being said, Matt Kahn, I'm a firm believer in having elder support, having foundational support, having people who know more than you or know differently than you, and being able to have them for a soundboard, be able to listen and gain wisdom and knowledge from said situations in life. Because at 41, I don't know everything, and some situations I've gone through, I may have been going through them with a certain filter. I wonder if I could oh, it gives more light. Oh, there goes the light. I just had to open up another door. Okay, there goes light. Look at me looking all golden. Yes, coming to the light, darling. Coming to the light. So, with that being said, Matt Kahn. I listen to a few people on YouTube, but Matt Kahn speaks to me very, very deeply because he speaks to those of us who are empaths, but we know that we don't have to stay struggling and being caught up in everybody else's feelings and dramas. When you're intensely sensitive, you can live in your not self, right? Coming to a point with all this. So what happens is I'll just tell the story. I'll just tell the story because I don't want to. I got my notes here. I'm looking at my notes. Looking at my notes. Yeah. I just wanted to do the introduction and get that out of the way. So yeah, I wanted to express, why I'm doing this post. I'm doing this post because I needed to make a first post. I need a first coming out the gate post, right? And I have so many new ideas about myself. Therapy's going well. I also have a human design coach. I mean, I'm going to shout her out in a better video, but like, I feel very supported, very loved, uplifted in my community. I'm in a good place in life, right? And because of that, like, love and friendship are like super important to me. I care and love my friendships, people who I'm in friendship with. It matters to me how they feel, things like that. And love is something that I'm learning is like really a great byproduct of having respect for yourself and respect for what you know and respect for others. And so here, case in point, was what's happened. I got to Florida for vacation, and immediately I started having these feelings about like someone I used to be friends with, right? And we were friends about a year and a half ago. She does tarot reading, and I reached out to her for a reading. And this is coming towards the end where I'm not really needing readings from other people, but it feels good to socialize with other spiritualists. And for those of you who know, I read cards, I do things, I'm spiritual, I'm psychic, all these good things, right? And I have all these spiritual gifts, like so many of them. And I felt good to like communicate with someone else who had those same interests and had those same type of like, you know, cares about the world, spiritual, things. And they read tarot cards. I don't do tarot cards because it's too much information for me personally. Um, so I got the reading, it was done, and then what happens is this person reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I'm just want to check on you and make sure you're okay." And we kind of begin a fast friendship. And I love this person. But I've noticed in the relationship there's some uncomfortable feelings from me around like they can be really belligerent. They could be very like, arrogant. Like if I know it, then that's it. And then also kind of like seemingly liking to say things that are controversial to the relationship or the friendship. So we'd be cool, everything be good, and then I'd get a phone call and we'd be talking, and then out the blue, this person would be like, I don't love you, or I don't trust you all the way. And it's like, okay. And they had good reason to say this because when I encountered these interactions with us where they didn't agree with me or they had certain feelings and vibes that I didn't necessarily feel at home with, I had been taught by this person that if I speak up for myself in a certain way, it would cause problems. And I really liked them. I really was vibing with them. And, I'm like, I don't want to cut them off because we all have flaws. We all have things that is not like, we all have things that we're not maybe aware about ourselves, right? And I didn't feel like it was my place to make her aware of these things because it just didn't sit right with me to be like, yeah, you should change your attitude when you feel like you're wrong about things. Like I feel like we're all here on the healing journey and we're all gonna get what we need to get. That's how I feel about it. So long story short, there was this thread of me not keeping it real with this person when they were, in my opinion, acting up or being expressing behavior that could like threaten the harmony of the friendship. So I chose to like, as they say, turn the other cheek or sugarcoat it or like just be in total denial, really, just like not really respect the fact that I feel uncomfortable or I feel disrespected or I feel like someone is building me up just to break me down. That would happen too. Like, oh, you're this is great, you're a wonderful person, and then it was like, well, you need to do this, and just this breakdown, and I would just feel like, okay, I didn't take it personal. So we would have these little arguments, these little tit for tat conversations sometimes, and this person would express to me like, you seem unbothered, and it's like because I don't want to make this a big deal. I want us to grow. We can't figure everything out about each other in the first 3 months. And this person had that kind of thing. I want to see your birth chart. I want to see this. I want to see that. Like, there's this idea of spiritual people wanting to get all your information and read you. You cannot read someone on their chart like that. You have to experience them. There's so many facets of a person's personality that whether you have a birth chart, a cardiology chart, human design chart, when the person is expressing themselves and living in who they are, these charts pale in comparison to the actual experience of the person. And you may can say, oh yeah, at 5 years old, this happened to them and it impacted them this way. But until you talk to that person, until you experience that person, you won't really know what that means, right? And I'm aware of this. So I never wanted to like be read all the way through, and I never read her all the way through. And the one time I did give her a reading, she was very disrespectful and like flippant about it. So it was like, okay, you know. So these uncomfortable occurrences would happen. I would just brush them under the carpet. Meaning I'd be fake. I'd not be my real self because I thought it was better to be kind than to be right. I wanted to be happy over being right. That was my whole thing. So one day we get into a conversation, and I become a little bit like back into a corner with the conversation, and I don't like the conversation. So I decide to be real, and I say something that I've never said before, and the conversation just took a nosedive. And this person then texted me and said, I don't want to be your friend anymore. And I was like, okay, okay, y'all. I was like, okay. I was not upset, like mad. I was kind of sad because I was like, you know, I was fucking with this person, but they not fucking with me, and that's cool. I don't have to make a big deal out of it. So I went about my way. Got back into what I'm into, doing me. I was RV. I was living in the RV full time in Fort McCoy, Florida at the time. And so by the time I get back to Georgia and everything is going on, um, I noticed that I felt okay with everything. Like it was released, right? So here I am, almost a year and a half later, visiting Florida. The person lives in Florida. And I have this strong feeling. Now I know why I had this strong feeling to reach out and communicate because we have some mutual friends. And these mutual friends were, one of the mutual friends was speaking with her in reference to me being in Florida. So there's a connecting vibe, that connection thing. So I'm feeling this vibe, and I'm like, so I do something I haven't done in a while. I look at a pick a card reading on YouTube. I pull my moon deck cards, and everything's like bring love into the situation, communicate with love, care, blah blah blah. So I reach out, and the person picks up the phone, and needless to say, the conversation goes totally left, and I'm just like, damn, okay, this really was over. And for me, it was like, someone might say, well, why did you? If after someone cuts you off, and so they don't want to be friends, why would you call a year and a half later? I called a year and a half later because having gone through therapy, having done some healing and looked at my own behavior, I wasn't being real with this person. I didn't think that it was my place or my business to always be like, why are you acting this way? Or that's wrong, or you need to change your tone. Or I don't live in a world of you should and you better, you know, I don't live in that space. So I didn't know how to communicate how I felt. I just didn't know how to. I didn't have the language of the words. And it was easier for me to smile, chuckle, laugh it off, and just write it off as like everybody has their flaws, everybody has their things. And so in this conversation, as I'm being what I've learned how to do in therapy, which is speak truth to power and stand in my own feelings and express myself, the person is not liking it. And they're getting increasingly upset, especially with my choice of words and my adjectives, my vocabulary, which has always been an issue. Like, I read the dictionary, I read books, I speak what they call well. I like to communicate. I communicate very effectively with other people and my children and my family. So when a relationship is not it's not going the best in the communicative way, I tend to think, okay, we're just having miscommunication. We don't speak the same language. And this person was not trying to hear it was miscommunication. And I realized because that entails you having to take responsibility for how you're communicating. And this person didn't want to take any responsibility and wanted to make it like I wasn't taking responsibility. And really, I was just calling because I thought maybe the friend that I held in my heart deserved to know, like, hey, you weren't crazy. That last conversation we had, I said some things that you probably never would thought I said because, I decided to be real with you. I wasn't being real before because I didn't think you could handle it. And that's not the best light to hold someone in. So I can understand you cutting me off, but I just want to let you know you had some valid feelings in cutting off the situation if you felt like I was being fake with you. Because I was. I didn't trust you with how I really felt based on interactions we'd had. I didn't trust you with the truth because you didn't seem to be able to accept truth that wasn't yours. So Fast forward, we get off the phone. I'm like, okay, well, that's that. I guess that's over for sure now. Put a pin in it. It's done, right? And I stumbled upon Matt Kahn's content where he's talking about, let me make sure I don't, he's talking about some content that really gets me going because what I realize is that I don't have any beef with this person still. I'm not upset with them. So when a few days passed and when we were all in this YouTube, Bigo, Instagram space together, I'm the kind of person I advocate for my friends. I share their content. I big them up in public spaces and sometimes other people I'm communicating with will follow them, will add them, da da da. So a few people, not three people, text, yeah, three people. Three people hit me up and was like, "Did you see this? This is you, right? This is your name on this post, right?" And I was just like on YouTube, and I was like three long ass videos, excuse my French, with someone I guess exposing me, or I didn't watch it because I'm a firm believer in whatever you think about me has nothing to do with me. It's not my business, especially if it's negative or it's not the truth, essentially. And from what I heard, it was just a lot of like, projection and feelings. And some people were like, it wasn't clear. They didn't understand what was saying. They wanted me to watch so I could give context. And I was like, I'm not. I'm not going to give context to something that's not going to help neither one of us, in my opinion. That's my ego. My opinion, my ego just helps nobody. But when I get really into how I really feel and get in touch with my actual emotion about it, I'm not sad. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I'm more like, I understand. I've been there before. And I respect your sovereignty. I respect her sovereignty to be able to speak and express herself in any way that seems necessary to her. Because I respect my sovereignty. And I respect what I've had to go through, what I say and what I do, because I'm allowed to. And it feels good when I do what I can do, when I'm living in my power, when I'm living in my birthright, if you will, which is the ability to be able to be and just be myself, authentically me. And so Matt Kahn brings up this idea, and it just anchored itself right into my consciousness that I respect your sovereignty, whatever that looks like, and I respect my sovereignty, whatever that looks like. And I think that it's okay for you to do whatever you need to do to express and exercise that. Is that right? I'm gonna post it in the comments. I mean, in the two videos that really resonated with me and actually was like, you know what? Slice of life is about story time and sharing your life and things you got going on in the mundane world that we're all going through, and what insights you learn from it. What does it teach you? And this situation taught me two things. It taught me that I am not the codependent person I used to be, and moving in such a way will always bring up discomfort and alienation because I'm not that person anymore. Think about how codependent I had to be to feel like I could have a friendship or a relationship with someone and not keep it real with them about what I was really experiencing in real time, but I wanted the friendship and the relationship. It's not even being what it really could be, but I don't want to let go of the friendship. I wanted this friendship with a spiritual woman. I wanted this friendship with a woman. I wanted this friendship with a peer, what I consider to be a peer. I wanted this relationship. And I found myself there many times in life. And it never worked out because I wasn't an empowered person within myself. I was moving from this position of oh, the things that I've gone through my life had shaped me to have very much the victim consciousness. And as I healed through that and got out of that, what was remaining was the codependency of, that idea that I don't want to be alone. What do we say? It's lonely at the top. And I didn't want to be lonely at the top. So I kind of lowered myself and had relationships and friendships that really didn't serve how I feel about things, my idea of things. I wasn't being myself. And this relationship showed me that it's okay to be myself because at the end of the day, those who mind don't matter, and those who, you know, matter don't mind. I do remember how that goes. And I love that saying because it still has its roots in what someone thinks about me is none of my business. You know what I'm saying? So if I offend you to such a point, then you're not a part of my journey, and that's okay, you know. And I know a few of my friends was like, you should say something to this person. You need to do a response video, and it was kind of like, why? They're hurting. I've been there. I used to be that angry person that had relationships falling all around me, and I would tag people who I thought were disrespecting me. I would have a conversation that was very like, ugh. And I was very direct and aggressive and very self righteous and very much like, I know this is what it is, da, 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 dragging other people into it that had nothing to do with it, all because I couldn't address the people who were actually hurting my feelings in a way that was respected, in a way that brought results and made an impact that was positive to my life. So I'm wise enough to know, like, hey, everything ain't for everybody, and that's okay, but we can send each other off in the world with as much love and respect as we can. And for me, the way I do that has just been knowing that fact. But thanks to Matt Kahn, I have some more language for that. I respect my sovereignty. I can call back in my sovereignty. I can express myself the way I need to as it serves and soothes me. And that's okay because other people have that same divine right. And that's okay. So the second thing this situation taught me is like when people have negative energy towards you, whatever, or a perspective of you that you might not disagree with, or you do, or that other people don't disagree with, or some do. What I've learned is that it's okay to I accept what the young lady said. I accept how she feels, but I don't receive any of it because it don't have some of it. A lot of it don't have nothing to do with me. This is someone going through something and using me as a scapegoat, if you will, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm strong enough to bear it. I'm powerful enough to live through it, if you will. So it's all good. Codependency is crazy, and it'll show up in these weird ways. And it showed up for me there, and I realized no wonder this person cussed me out and told me get gone because I don't move in codependency energy anymore. I never really did, and when I was doing it, it was still not working for me. And now that I really don't, the shit really ain't for me, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm an independent person. I move a certain kind of way, and I've learned to accept and receive that and love that and respect that fact about myself. I feel good. I'm glad to be here. So I know how far I've come in life, and I really am glad to be here, you guys. So I think that's it for this first story time. I think the point is just that we're all able to just have a different experience, but it's beautiful if we can all respect each other's experience. That's what makes it an environment where you can learn in, an environment where you can feel empowered in, an environment you can grow in. You know, so I'm glad that I was able to share, and this was my first slice of life story time, and the subject was really dealing with like being wise, living in your wisdom, understanding that my sovereignty is mine, your sovereignty is yours, and both can exist simultaneously. You get what I'm saying? Like it's enough for everyone. There's no lack in my world, in my perception. So I don't vibrate there. I vibrate in where it's abundantly beautiful, abundantly wise, abundantly dark. I'm a very I was initiated dark goddess. Like that's my thing. Like I'm into the space of what it means to be whole as a woman, whole as a being, and move from that space of gratitude in that knowledge. That's me. That's how my spirit rolls. So I'm gonna keep doing these. We're also gonna be getting back some mukbang videos. You guys know if you watched any of my stuff before, you know we be eating on here. So we're definitely gonna be doing some mukbang challenges. I don't know what YouTube has going on that allowed me to be live today because I definitely don't have nowhere near 1,000 people following me yet. But this is feeling good and I like it. So I'm gonna be definitely doing this more. I'm hoping it's gonna let me save this video because I would hate to have to say all this stuff over again. But if I did, as you know, it would just be more refined and more to the point. It'll probably be a lot shorter video too. You guys, I am Oya Gold of Edify Me Rosewater, Jam Parties, Sunchild Publishing, Karma is coming. Like I've got a lot of stuff happen this year that I'm so excited to release and unleash. I'm unleashing more of myself, and we're gonna have story time because of it. Because I don't know about what your slice of life be doing, but my slice of life be like double decker high apples, a la mode, mustard, pickle, chips on the side, Chicago style pizza slice of life. Like, all right, at this point, I'm just rambling. You guys have a great one. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening whenever you're watching this. I'm glad to be here. Y'all have a good one. Later. How do we stop it now? Okay.